Hello and welcome back. Today we are continuing our fascistista UK run where we are going full on the fascism. We haven't researched a single tech actively that will not help us get fascism, and last episode we developed this insidious plan. And this plan was, we are going to make an unholy alliance. Now, we already have Marx, who is the key member for the trade unionists, but we are going to try and get the memeiest of meme individuals, if we can, to lead our unholy alliance of a single-party state. And I'm pretty sure for the Intelligentsia, we're going to want Sigmund Freud, because, you know, there are reasons that Freud is very energetic, and we want to have him in the party. And so I'm thinking after we research political agitation, maybe we go into psychoanalysis in order to pop Freud, if we can, or maybe we can actually have some efficiency here. Let's do psychiatry into political agitation into psychoanalysis. This has to be the worst research plan we've ever had in a run. We have also been thumbing pies. We have not declared a single war ourselves other than the war on Great Qing, which of course, you know, is a great thumb in their pie. And we've just been reverse swaying our way into wars, which kind of brings us to our next point, which is we've already reverse swayed against the US twice, but you know what they say. Bye-bye, Miss American Pie. I drove my finger into those apples, and then America cried. So we will be, offering support to Mexico. America has already used all their maneuvers, basically, so they probably won't be able to return state here. And with trade agreement, why not? We will offer some support in exchange for, a transfer of states. Wow, look at all this that we can just get from Mexico. You know what's really good? California. You know what's also good? Mexican Texas. But you know what's going to happen? They're going to get the rest of Tejas from USA in this run, because if we take a look at some of these war goals, return Tejas. And so we just we'll settle for California for this one, and even if we don't manage to save Mexico, we're still going to get California. So we are going to, ask for transfer states and ask for California, or as the governor would say, California. Where is California here? I mean, I know it's here, but where is it here? That's Baja California, that's the impersonator, that's California. So we are going to need to move some troops over. Unfortunately, our 75 stack is a little bit busy, thumbing Austria's pie, because Austria tried to open Japan's market. But we're going to leave National Guard at home, that's the whole idea. But we will move kind of everyone else. These guys we have set to merge. We will move some other guys. The little Plata HQ guy. I think he's cut off from supplies. If the game's working properly, he should be cut off from supplies. But we'll just move him over here and let him maybe help try and defend. So this is what we're doing. We're thumbing that pie. Can we thumb yet another pie? Dare we thumb a third pie? Surely this is hubris. Everyone knows the story of Icarus, who stuck a finger in not just one pie, but two pies, and then he fell from the sky. That's how that tragic tale went. But yeah, they will not have enough maneuvers, I think, to return status, and so, the US is now very uncertain of the nature of their American pie, which is about to get finger in it. We are also going to want to really start leaning into natural spread, and so what we're doing is we're going to also have a university in Hebei, which is the cheapest place for us to have it, and coincidentally, we're going to want to be building in Hebei. We discriminate against all the pops. There are a lot of labor available, and so this will actually help us to get the qualifications up and running here in Hebei, which of course we are incorporating, so that minus throughput will go away after a little bit of time, but also it is cheaper for us to build them here in Hebei, which is largely off the back of the paper mills being here, and the paper mills will do well because there will be sulfur here. Why don't we just click this sulfur on auto expand? We have this on auto expand, and so we're kind of prepping a sort of phase where we are probably going to build tall in Hebei at some point. Again, Hebei will give us access to a unique rail company that is quite strong, and this is kind of why we are leaning into Hebei, and why we took Hebei over Shaanxi. That way we could get the Kaiping mining company, which will give us rails and coal. Delicious gold fields. The apple pie is indeed quite delicious. They gave it up for free, and now we have Well, a ton of gold. Way more gold than we should, given we're not going after South Africa here. Or not really. We might annex Cape Colony. This is kind of the one exception, is we will annex subjects, but other than that, no wars except the opening Qing War. So we have a ton of convoys and a ton of bureaucracies, so we're going to put in a ton of trade routes. Now, the trade routes have been sticky in patch 1.5. You know, they don't, you can see here, we can't really put in profitable ones on stuff that's normally quite profitable. Grain is barely profitable. You know, fabric, well, there's some for fabric, but for the most part, we actually do kind of suffer a lot here, and we're just going to put in a whole bunch. This is probably just making the subsequent ones unprofitable. You know, Silk we can import from the French market. Why are we having so much trouble? Do we need to go in and open up Xing's market again? Alas. And so we're going to import agrarian goods, which has kind of always been the strategy. And we are going to export finished goods, specifically tools and steel are going to be the specific ones that we look to export. We're not going to really aggressively look to export anything else because we're not really producing anything else, and we would rather kind of help ourselves push the EOS, specifically on these buildings. And so this is kind of what we'll be doing a little bit for now. We might just kind of pick up more trade routes, even if they're just profitable, with our current trade strategy we have implemented on the imports and the exports, which is going to make it so, for the most part, okay, we're going to export some clothes. We're going to see what is the most productive, and we'll kind of lean into that. New Africa market, we kind of would like them in our customs union. The Dutch market gets a nice big route, and we will need to, almost certainly, after putting in all these routes, once they all adjust and, you know, normalize the levels, we'll almost certainly need to delete some of them, but that's okay. So we'll just put in a whole bunch here. And then this other furniture. This will make our auto cube make more furniture, but this isn't quite the end of the world. I mean, it's pretty close, but this will hopefully juice up our economy some. And we are really trying to get profitable trade centers for when we swap over to Mercantilism, when our petite bourgeoisie will be the owners of the building, which isn't quite yet, but it will be sometime soon. And then alas, steel is almost never profitable. We see we could send it to the Dutch, but that's kind of where we're at. We don't want to, in a normal circumstance, it'd be reasonable to export this. We could export this with a huge tariff, and now we can, you know, let the trade routes kind of just see what they update after about a week or Monday. It's going to be a little bit of lag here for us, and we see that some of these routes aren't going to even make the cut, but the rest of these are pretty profitable. They will also create some jobs. You know, the trade centers will increase in level. I'm not sure where all the trade centers are, which is always kind of an interesting question to ask. Where are the trade centers? Because this does get more migration attraction. If you're playing very, very tight, this is something to keep track of, but it's not something we can pay super close attention to. So we don't like the trade center in Wales, but we see that there are trade centers all over the place, and I think that we might even want to cancel the trade centers, or like, if this trade center, what are you bringing in? We could cancel all the routes in here, because we don't necessarily want them to get a lot of immigrants. Actually, maybe we are okay with the immigrants. We might be okay with the immigrants. The reason why is that the immigrants can convert to English, but the problem is the base Welsh props here can't convert to English. And we, of course, want as much English props as possible for empowering the petite bourgeoisie for this insane interest group to try and get it to powerful, which it's not yet. Although we've done a little okay a job bringing them up, I think it'll be a little bit better after we go mercantilism, and which is kind of the plan, which means we're gonna... Wait, why are we paying so much? We're paying so much in bureaucracy. Okay, we'll peel back some of these trade routes, but did just want to kind of put some more in as we are going here. Manna from heaven. We managed to not spread a decent tech, so we get some nitroglycerin, which is going to be super big nice, and it might even allow us to get the productivity, the prosperity up, you know, on some, if not all of these. I'm not holding my breath over it, but, you know, this is a hope here. So we're going to turn I thought we had turned that up more. I thought we had built a little bit more. So at the front of the queue, we're actually going to kick some of these up. And then we're going to kick the iron and this sort of mines up. So let's actually find some industry. I did think that we had made some more of these. And so we'll kick them at the front, and we will put them on auto-expand, because now they will be very critical, and this is going to make it so that we really can't employ too much up here. I think we could probably turn this on, and maybe that's it, in terms of being able to support, you know, the boom booms, as it were. But that will be, that is a nice tech. It will also increase resource discovery chance, which is going to be nice for our areas that do have gold, like California, which of course we got in a just and even exchange. Are seeing a little bit of, you know, kind of madness where this guy got bricked, but it looks like some of the U.S. guys got bricked too. You know, it looks like Mexico's kind of shitting the bed a little bit in their ability to help defend, but so far they are really doing quite well in this war overall. We have these guys stationed at the Japan HQ to try and head off any sort of landing, but maybe we can delete them. We also were planning on deleting these 2 barracks out of here. We just had the Rev brewing, so why don't we take those down? And also, if you're playing on the 1.5 beta, the way you do it is you right-click and then you downsize. This was something that did take some figuring out, or someone figured it out for me while I was on stream. But eventually, our 75 will... It'll revert to one front, and then our 75 stack is here. They should be able to make work of these guys. Did our 30 stack reassign eventually over there? No, they're just stationed in the England HQ. Our other stack came over. But America's... They're about to give up the apple pie. It's going to be delicious. Hey, dear Karl Marx and the trade unionists are now demarginalized, so we will be getting some of their hot bonuses, like 10% manufacturing industries throughput, and if we make them happy, workforce ratio. The Unholy Alliance begins. Also, a big reason we're making money now is the guy who was in charge of the petite bourgeoisie, Mr. William Percy, or sorry, not Percy Rakes. He died, and now Percy Rakes is in charge, and Percy Rakes is a royalist, so now we managed to pip the 15% loan interest rate bonus, and so our interest, you know, did decrease. I guess it's not showing it. Have we always been happy? Oh, well then I'm not sure exactly. This maybe is the Mexico gold or the California gold, but we're making money now, so money moves, that is, and so we are going to be putting more construction queues into the queue. We're paying basically nothing for this interest, and so, you know, if it's free, it's for me, and this is some free money. So we enforce on the United States, and now their destiny is very nearly unmanifested. It would only take us taking 1, 2, 3, 4 more provinces, and we can completely, you know, fishbowl them here. You know, as a perfect example of no coast being available to the U.S. We've turned our attention back to this Austrian war, and we're looking to land Montenegro here. The main idea is that Japan has the war goal of war reparations, which cannot be enforced unless we control some Austrian dirt, and so we're going to get in here, and then we're going to set everyone... Actually, if everyone can push just a little bit, we'll let them push once or twice, and then we'll swap everyone to defense. So now they have gotten here, they've gotten back, and so we'll just swap everyone over to defend as best we can. I think that, oh, yep, nope, we'll just swap everyone over to defend, and we'll just look to hold this until the war finishes. Well, you don't say. Somehow the Communist Party has been formed for this election. Let's see how the election's going. Currently, it's looking like the Petite Party, which is the Industrialists, is doing quite well. The Tory Party losing a little bit from last time. And then we have the Whig Party, which is, let's see, they're up a little bit. And then the Communist Party is making their first appearance here with a little 5% clout. We do see that these guys will want to join the Tory Party on the next reform, and we kind of don't want them in the Tory Party, so that's a bit unfortunate. We don't want this whole shtick, and these guys want to join the Whig Party. Where's the Whigs at? Landed gentry plus Intelligentsia? Yeah, disgusting. What if we exile you? You dirty reformer. Or, you know what we could do? We could flex our repressive muscles, and instead of bolstering the petite bourgeoisie, I mean, we're not very close to getting them to the high enough clout range. Instead of bolstering them, since our suppresses are more effective, we're going to suppress them. We are going to shape our destiny here. For the Unholy Alliance, I'm thinking that we're giving up on the Anglican Church here. The Anglican Church, they're out. Because if we're going to get Freud, he's going to lead the Intelligentsia. We can't have the Church. Freud won't like that. So as much as we like this bonus, I think that this is maybe something for another time. The company throughput bonus, we're going to say goodbye. And also we are going, we're passing right now, the total separation. And, in terms of laws, being on censorship is going to be nice for this. And in terms of institutions, having this increased suppression impact on increased on interest groups is also going to be nice, because we're just going to marginalize these guys, or get these guys marginalized in relatively quick order, I think. Probably not for this election, but for next election, we'll have, a much tighter looking thing, and we can probably try and, make our full big shebang huge party at some point, especially if we can get everyone to be fascist before, and this will be good. And maybe we'll even get a fascist Karl Marx, which would be quite the meme to have if we can do the fascist event chain. Now, I think we will have to go ethno-state, which will present a little bit of complications, because we actually do really want multiculturalism just for the migration. And we want ethno-state to proc the event. I don't think we need state religion for fascism, but it's been a long time since I've done the fascism event chain, so we'll be finding that out together. Or if someone comments and this video's been released before I've recorded subsequently enough episodes, maybe someone in the comments will let me know. Ah yes, free money. We are about to be paying 0% in interest with this event. The grand plan pays off. Indeed it does. We have darker and more insidious fascist plans, but we'll take this one, and we should be paying nothing in interest at the next tick. Yep, 0 interest. Baby, that means this money is free, F-R-E-E-E, and if it's, well, E-E-E-E-E, we're going to add some extra E's, and if it's free, it's for me. Now, I don't know what's going on here exactly. It looks like, did Japan land? Because I think we lost our front. Oh no, we're still here. We're still at the front. We're still kicking. And so this means they are going to decay low, and they are almost certainly going to get enforced on here in just a minute. We do have this movement for freedom of conscience, and we have the East India Company Liberal Revolt comes in, which is going to be a little bit annoying. We will send at least the 1st British Army, which is currently, involved in this Austrian business. We're going to move these guys over here, at the very least, to handle this. And we see we automatically are in here. We don't get to sway anything. So that's a little bit unfortunate. We're going to get another tick here of total separation. And so, looks like that is an enforcement. So then we'll be able to move our big 75 stack over here. We're going to put the 75 stack in here, and then the 30 stack we're going to move over here. And then we're going to move, I think, the Chinese army as well over to here, and something like this. But we do want to, see a tick of this, see what the luck looks like. A wonderful idea, a university in Wales that we will subsequently delete. We will subsequently delete it before... Oh, we want to delete it before it employs anyone up, but it looks like it's not going to happen. We will fund a larger investigation. Unfortunate to get the Ripper events. We don't like those. We've never liked those. They've not been our friends, and we're just gonna stall. I was gonna get hype, but we stalled. The Ottomans think that Arabia is their sphere of influence. Ridiculous. We will offer to support Lahej by offering them to become our protectorate. We will protect you, my friend. And they will, of course, say, yes, of course, daddy. And we will just park this army here, and we will just let them sit there and do their dirty work. And, of course, we are going to actually move this stack instead over here to deal with them. And then the Chinese army, we're going to move over here. So we have significantly decreased our help that we are providing these guys, which is maybe a mistake. The British Indian Army, of course, will fight here in India, and hopefully it will be able to get some stuff done. We are leaving the National Guard, of course, back at home base in case the Ottomans try and land us. I think it's just a 10-stacker, and this is kind of all we've set up. Maybe we should set up a little bit more. Where do we have a lot of labor that's still here, kind of in the homelands? We do see lowlands, seems like they have a lot, and so we'll just add another 5 here to the lowlands, because I am a little bit concerned that they'll be able to land us otherwise. But we will, you know, kind of both defend ourselves from the finger-pieing of fate, and we will also finger Ottoman's pies, because they thought that they could just, you know, God, this is going to be the ugliest thing ever, but they thought that they could just, you know, come in here and, like, subjugate someone in the Arabian Peninsula. Insane. You're trying to play the game? Ridiculous. So we rolled pretty bad for total separation, and the Industrialists got almost all the votes. So we're just going to do this, I think, because there's really not a very legitimate government that we can make. Unfortunately, we need to really demobilize, we need to marginalize the landed gentry and the Anglican Church to kind of attack these power blocks. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get a lot done here. This law will peter out here unless we can... Unless we had a guy who was not a market liberal, but it was instead... No, there's nothing to be had here. There's no industrialist we can invite to maybe salvage this law. And so this law will auto-die. It should auto-die. Well, there's no reason to go through it. We're already at setbacks. But we can now increase taxes to the last mark and not have to worry about, you know... not being legitimate. We are maximally legitimate, of course. No one dissents from our thing. And now we will stare longingly at free trade, knowing that it is verboten, and we can't do it for this run if we ever want to, you know, do the things. But I think we will go colonial exploitation. Or we could do no health system. Why can't we do private health insurance? Is there a reason why? Oh, we haven't invented pharmaceuticals, right, because we haven't been researching useful tech. Okay, let's just go colonial exploitation, do like it a little bit more. This will piss off the church, but, you know, whatever. And so this will be something we also swayed to get an obligation from the Netherlands, because, well, and we might be able to use it to invite them to the customs union later down the road. But we will have to improve their relations first. Actually, we could just absolve the obligation and then leave the play. Well, I think, well, we could just capitulate once the play starts, and so that'll be good. This is cruising pretty well for us here. We do have a landing coming in over here. We've set our guys to push, you know, that we're not pushing before. This guy will need to add as well, but things are going pretty swimmingly over here. Karl Marx, he's the socialist demagogue, truly a dark force. We get socialist demagogue, which gives him increased popularity, and lower strata become a little bit more radical, which is going to help us out for increasing and keeping his clout high. We, like, the really unholy alliance part is the fact that we want these two in the same group, interest group together, and that's going to be real tough unless we, like, manage to change Karl Marx's ideology off of communist or something like this. I'm not sure how we're gonna do it. We're gonna try and figure that out. But we have, for the first time in a long time, we are not at war, and so let's see. We're just gonna have the least upkeep. Wales, we don't really want to build there. We'll build this in New York. There's probably a state construction efficiency. Malice though, and where it doesn't have a lot of tax. So, hey Bay, all right, something like this. Hey Bay is just also going to be just kind of a good place to build in. We'll cancel the one over here in terms of the construction, but it's the first time for a long time that we haven't been at war. So what we're going to do is we have no infamy because we haven't been naughty at all. It's just everyone else who's been naughty, and we've been trying to stop them from being naughty, and they won't stop. But now we can, you know, kind of mess with some people and just reduce their autonomy, and they will accept. You know, so those guys accept. These guys, we can annex our subjects as per our rules, but we would rather reduce autonomy of people. And so we see Ionian Islands Protectorate. We can get through an event in Protectorate Norway. So let's see if we can reduce autonomy on Norway. They won't necessarily accept the Ionian Isles. Let's see if they accept. Reduce, they will accept. Guaranteed. And then I think we might want to annex South Africa, because they have gold. They won't accept, but we will show them the error of such things. as we look to fully incorporate them. Now, we dropped the ball because New South Wales, we do have to intervene, because we're their overlord, we do have to offer assistance before anything happens, but they're getting colonization rights, so that would be the most obscene interference anyways. Although, I guess we really should have done it, because that's the funniest thing to do, is intervene against our subject who just wants colonization rights, and then make him pay us war reps. Oh man, truly the oppressor overlord this world deserves, but we missed that opportunity. So, yeah, we have also started putting suppression, now that the universities are hitting the queue. We are violently suppressing here, mainly to just downtick, the effects of this negative turmoil by quite a lot for the state construction efficiency. Let's take a closer look. We have managed to also reactivate the prosperity bonus here, and the prosperity bonus over here, so all that is also pretty nice for us. One day we'll get, some decent tech that gives us another company, but I guess we'll have to starve until then. What are we even not spreading? What goodies do we have? Fieldworks, canneries, and realism. God, this game's... I'm having a thought. A modest proposal, if you will, for any of those who have ever read that essay. It's a very funny essay, and what the author satirically proposes is the eating of children as a means of handling population control. And this essay was put forth during the period of time in which the Irish were starving, and of course it's a piece of social critique and it's very good, but we're going to try and starve them out. See, if they immigrate out of Ireland, we can convert them to English, and then we can, positively affect the petite bourgeoisie. So I asked my pops, how many potatoes does it take to kill an Irishman? And the answer is 0. We're going to turn down the PMs here as low as possible and get the dirtiest, worstest PMs so that they don't make money. Oh, somehow they make more money on that? God damn it. It's because it's not incorporated and they don't have the input. Oh my god, they make more money. They make more money! They make more money on the bad PMs! No, it's because they're not incorporated. Oh, no, it's... That's a loud one. We take those. No, it's because it lies about how much it's going to employ. This has to be worse. So we're going to turn down all the PMs here. And also, that changes... Well, actually... That changes the ownership to being merch shopkeepers, which will predominantly be petite bourgeoisie. So maybe we don't care too much, and so I guess we'll just turn everything back to shopkeeper in these areas, and then turn down the rye farms to just simple farming. They're just simple farmers, as it were. And this way, our pops in these areas make less money. Oh god, I feel so bad turning this down to simple forestry. Maybe we won't on the chops. We just can't bring ourselves to do it. It's a crime against Victoria 3 to turn down the chops. Turn down for what? But we will turn down the other ones. We will turn these down in order to try and encourage these guys to starve. Ah, man, this is actually a place where we have a decent amount of economic activity. Well, let's start by deleting this, and let's, start winding back the... Well, actually, we're kind of okay with having if it's going to be shopkeeper owned. We maybe don't care too much. This is always publicly traded. That's going to negatively affect some stuff for us. But this will also make it shopkeeper owned. That one we can't do anything about. This one is on... Can't do anything about. Picks and shovels, my guys. Picks and shovels nitroglycerin, The classic combo. Everyone knows that you take a pick and a shovel and some nitroglycerin and you go into the mines. It's how it was intended to do, especially with child labor. But hopefully this causes problems. Hopefully this causes them to leave. Yeah. We like that. We take those. It looks like they're leaving. They don't like it there anymore. Perfect. That's how you make them English. You starve them out. Perfection. Chef's kiss. How we drew it up. Of course, we are going to be going after them in Cape Colony, but we see France is trying to be somebody in East Sahara. Now, it's going to be really tough for us to get to that front, but we could ask for just something as easy as war reps. Liberate Brittany, I don't think is really going to be that great. So I think we're just going to ask for war reparations, and then we're going to land and sit on Corsica. We're going to move the British-Chinese army over here. We're going to move this army over here. Oh, it's already there. This first British army we will be using to land here, and so we will actually move them closer to that, along with the 35 stack fleet. We will move the 100 stack fleet kind of back to the home counties. Not that it matters, because the fleet can't currently fight. And the British Indian Army, we will just station in India, just as a little bit of a flexibility move. But now it's time to thumb France's pie over this absolutely insane thing that we could never possibly stop them from getting, you know, actually landing and enforcing here. So, but we're gonna, ooh, you know what? We're actually gonna put the Indian Army on a front. I imagine we do have a front with France somewhere. Oh wait, we have to wait? Yeah. But we do have a front somewhere, and we're just going to put them on one of those French fronts. Perfect. Paint me like one of your French fronts. Also, since Ireland is unincorporated, all the negative effects, including starting wages, subsistence output in unincorporated states, and decreased manufacturing industries, and this also increased mines and this type of stuff, all this will, of course, apply to Ireland and Wales as well. So we are going to starve them out. Well, let's actually see if we get negative migration here. We're getting negative pop growth. Eventually, we probably will want to attract people over here, but we really want to secure the petite bourgeoisie, you know, secure their place in history or whatever. Here first. Oh, is this one of the dirty ones where we can... This might be one of the dirty dirties. It is one of the dirty dirties. So we're going to move these gentlemen here to defend, because fronts don't exist here. And we can just defend even though. And we see a vanguardist intelligentsia that's begun. Do we want to promote him? Yeah, sure, why not? So we'll move our 75 stack there. We're going to land our 35 stack, I think, in Corsica. But maybe we land them... Actually... Maybe we just send this 30 stack over here, and we look to keep our naval landings as flexible as possible, because if you start a landing, you can't stop it. Oh, and we actually wanted a 30 stack land down here, so we're going to continue with that. But just trying to coordinate two wars at once here. Okay, we actually can't pass any laws right now because we can only have the intelligentsia in government. So what we're going to try and do is roll a decent intelligentsia guy. We are going to start by retiring this commander here. And the reason being, he's a pacifist and he is also the most likely to actually roll for them. We also see we can get a petite bourgeoisie and they are a royalist. So we will just do this and we will promote them up all the way. So let's promote. We could click the promote button and not be dumb. And we will also see if there's any other guy we could get that maybe is decent. Royalist is going to be fine. We won't promote them. And we have one other guy who is an industrialist that is leading an army, and he's a reformer. And with the reformer, at the very least, we can try and go property of women if we don't have it, or cultural exclusion, or compulsory primary school. I think we can try and pass compulsory primary school. Let's actually double check, because we don't want to exile and get this guy if we can't, or restrict child labor. Must be above, okay, we don't need a law for this. We would like restricted child labor. Right now, the industrialists support it, or are against it, but if we had a reformer, they wouldn't be. So what we'll do is we're going to do this. We're going to confirm, or no, and then we're going to kick these guys out, which of course is not legitimate, yada yada, and then we will exile Mr. Robert Peel. Sorry, we've had enough of you. You are a dissident. So long, and now we get the reformer boyo, and so we will reform the government, we will put the reformer boyo back in, and we will go for restricted child labor, which is going to be nice for us, and will also, you know, just make people happy. No one's opposed to it, and this will allow us to increase the education institution. Bada bing, bada boom. We're making not money moves, but political moves. So we have an opportunity to sway ourselves into Egypt, this Egypt-Ottoman conflict, and since they haven't incorporated Konya, they will be willing to give us Konya for nothing, or just for joining them, rather, but we don't necessarily have to do anything. Now, there's not a lot of resources here in Konya. If I recall, there is a decent amount of pops. Oh, I guess maybe not. We could ask for Aleppo instead. I do believe Aleppo has resources. I said I do believe Syria has resources. I do believe... someone has resources somewhere. Okay, nobody has resources. What we would really love is cyanide, but they generally don't like giving that up. But we can go transfer state, and I guess since, you know, I guess we'll just go for the most populous of Kanya, and we will move our National Guard over and have the 6th British Army, our biggest army. That one is going to be defending, and this one is already moving over to Anatolia in kind of anticipation of that. We still do have this conflict where we are annexing them. Notably, the population here, there's a decent amount of English, and there is going to be, you know, Sotho and Boer, and maybe this is a bit of a mistake to annex this, because the more stuff we annex, the harder it's going to, the more problems we will have once we go multicultural in terms of getting everyone to be English. Because you can't convert local pops if they're in homeland state, you can't assimilate them. But if you siphon people off, if you just keep a huge customs union and siphon people off to your country and then convert them to English, you can have a really high English population. And so maybe it's a little bit of a mistake annexing this, but I guess we'll see. But either way, I think we are going to conclude the episode here. This episode, we have, you know, worked a little bit on the dark designs, trying to set up for getting both Freud and Marx, if this is possible. It'd be really funny if we can go fascist and then convert Marx to fascism somehow. This would be a delight. But other than that, what we have done as a sponsorship of our dark design is we're starting to starve the pops out of Ireland now. Mainly so that they move, and they, boy, are they moving. They're starting to get some severe negative, we'll ignore that one. We don't like that one. But this very negative migration, you know, a 10K out here, they're starving. They're headed over, well, wait, why are these guys migrating away? Where are you guys going then? To Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina. No! No, 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 no. Virginia, North Carolina. How are they? They're not in our customs union. We were thinking of inviting New Africa to our customs union, but I guess the USA accepts... That's unfortunate. We don't want them migrating there. We don't want our pops migrating out. I guess they're migrating out of everywhere. We thought we were like 5-head, starving out our pops, but maybe we're not 5-head. Wow, we're really just getting mass emigration. This is not ideal. We need to raise the SOL. The problem is we're actually like really behind in terms of getting the useful and good techs. You know, we're 13 years into the game and we haven't got water tube boiler. And we're trying to get it all through tech spread. God, this is so painful. You know, now that we kind of reflect on this a little bit more, this is so painful, just like not getting good techs at a decent clip. I mean, we'll get anarchism soon. You know what's funny is we will be able to roll anarchists way early, so it actually might be one of the faster, because we can go human rights on a little bit later, it might be one of the faster and easier multiculturalisms that we've done. But I mean, we're coming on up on political agitation slowly, I guess. I mean, realism, once that pops, that'll be a little bit, that'll speed things up a little bit. I guess maybe we actually, you know what we're gonna do? This should make things a little bit faster if we do this, and then political agitation. That should actually work out a little bit better. And then go for psychoanalysis. That way, you know, as tier 2 techs finish, this will gain free progress, and we'll be working on this one at the same time. Yeah, we're going to conclude this episode here today. Maybe not as successful as we would have liked, but we are starving some of these pops out of here. And, you know, we are trying to get them to move to Great Britain, or to England, but apparently they're moving to the New World. It's like the history repeating, like the potato famine and everything. They're just going to the New World. Okay, but I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and other than that, have a good one.